So guys, MOR Money episode what? 12? I think
12. Yeah.
Wow, dude.
12.
So Roy, I just want to let you know that we are officially in the top 10% of podcasters.
Are we
Just
really?
by getting here. Yeah.
Wow.
90% of podcast shows don't make it past the 10th episode.
Wow, I didn't know that.
You're right.
That's a cool stat.
That's a cool
I
stat,
like
right?
that.
That's a cool
I
stat.
think I did know that. You might have said it to me before. I just didn't remember it.
I did say it. That's why we had a special 10th episode with Allie talking about Gen Z. And if you haven't watched it and you're on this, you better go watch it because it is an amazing show. Allie is an amazing person. But that being said, I think we have another amazing person on today.
We do. So guest number 2 to our show, and we're getting a lot of traction here. We've gotten almost 11 or 12 requests over the last 2 weeks to be on the show, and some of them we're picking strategically along with topics that are coming up for us here in our world, and some of them we're just like, hey, let's change the schedule a little bit because here's an excellent opportunity to pick up on something that may have been based off of the last episode or something like that. And so, Allie, we moved you to the top of the list. Now, by the way, this is Alizabeth Leng-Barton.
Hi, I am another Allie.
That's right. You're another. So, wow, our first 2 guests were both Allies.
If your name's not Allie, don't even try.
Allie, why don't you go ahead and give us a little introduction about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a digital marketing professional. I've been in the mortgage industry for a little bit now, but I started off my career in finance and really honed in on how can we help businesses better optimize their SEO, build stronger content strategies, and ultimately get business results. And so right now I am really focusing on helping a lot of my clients in the mortgage space amplify their message and optimize, which I know ties into our conversation today. In addition to this very interesting background, I currently own my own marketing agency, Stratomize Marketing, and I'm working actually on a spin-off business with Brandy Young, and it is focusing on making SEO accessible, making it easy to understand, and ultimately not gatekeeping, because I think a lot of companies gatekeep their SEO secrets, and really what we want to do is bring that to the forefront and make it able that anybody who wants to dive into the SEO space can get their hands involved. So
wow,
it's really exciting.
Super commendable. I love that. I love the open source or the open feel of sharing that information. That's amazing. But more so than that, congratulations. Congratulations on being the CEO of your company, and also for your new endeavor with Brandy Young. Amazing work. I've known Allie for a few years now, and I've seen her go from a corporate environment to out on her own and continuously growing. And listen, I just commend you on having a successful run thus far, and I can't wait to see you in the future.
Thank you. That means a lot, especially from someone as awesome as you, Roy.
Oh, so also, I just want to tell the viewers, she's lying. Tell the viewers that so you guys understand, we have a pretty unique setup that we're working with right now. So Allie's, face is over here where we can see her, but the webcam is over here. So if you do see our eyes coming this way, we're actually looking at Allie. But in this case, we want to make it seem like we're looking there. Yeah. Just full transparency. So you don't think we're just like, all right. But Allie, amazing job. Congratulations on being your own CEO. I know it's not easy work whatsoever, especially making that big drastic move. But I'm excited for this conversation because I think we've been hit up like 20 or 30 or 40 times actually from freelancers that are like, hey, you can optimize your SEO. So I want to know what it is I need to do to optimize this channel's SEO and what you have for me. So I'm glad I'm recording this because then I'm actually going to take this transcript, put it into ChatGPT, and have my own note maker.
Yeah, and the nice thing too is what applies to one business is going to apply in formulaic version to almost every business. The algorithms work the same way. It's all about figuring out how you fit into that formula. So I think that any lesson that we talk about today for a lender or for a vendor or for a podcast can be applied to a broad array of businesses.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. So we were talking about last week how our the MLOs that work here, and even for ourselves, this podcast, our company, how we have gained some great organic traction over the last 3 years. We did a lot of work to make sure we respond to all our Google reviews. We use keywords in those responses. We target the area where something may have happened so that we increase visibility in those spaces. What else can we be doing as an organization, whether it's More Lending, whether it's the More Money Podcast, or whether it's just the people that are working here trying to get their own brand up? What else can we be doing to?
Yeah. So I think it's all about maximizing your current efforts. So let's just start with you're doing a podcast every single week. What you're doing is you're putting together content. You're taking, and sometimes more often than every single week, but you're taking that content and you're putting it out there on social media. It's all about what you do after the fact. So taking the transcript from this podcast and expanding on it, using that transcript to create articles that you then enrich with keywords, adding the transcript on your website so that you get the SEO value of the words that you're using. So when you embed your podcast, you embed the transcription. Another thing that you can really do is take the I apologize. This is what happens whenever you get live recording. You get corgis. So you can then take that transcription and you can break it down into smaller chunks like FAQs and make sure that you're using the markup schema for your website, because what that will do is it'll indicate to the search engines, hey, they put this information here in the format of either a transcript or the format of an FAQ, and they'll break that down and say, okay, this is the answer to XYZ keyword search. So a good example would be if you're talking about how do I get a mortgage, or what credit score do I need for a mortgage? As an MLO, let's say you do a video on it. You come on, you record yourself explaining how you get a mortgage, how you get the credit score for a mortgage, etc. Then you take your video, you put it on social media, you use it in your marketing, but then you take that and you pull out this transcript, plug it into your website, plug it into your content, add that schema. What's going to happen is you're not only going to get the value of the content, you're going to get the value of the SEO. The other thing that's really important right now, and this ties into our optimization strategy that Brandy and I have been honing, is long form content. So right now, if you want to rank on Google, you need to be posting a blog at a minimum once a week, but ideally 3 to 4 times a week. That's a lot of content. And so that's where getting creative about how you create that content really comes into play, and making the most of the transcript, because hey, there's one piece of content. You can then synthesize that into another article. That's 2. It goes beyond the keyword search. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck is they want to know, which keywords have the best volume. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what keywords have the best volume. It matters what your audience is searching for. So the way that we speak, the way that we talk, incorporating the words that our borrowers, our customers are going to be using, rather than really just focusing on, hey, I need this exact keyword. Because each keyword, although it has power, isn't how we process information. You don't need to just think about the search engine. You need to think about the person. And so with that long format content, what you can do throughout it is answer those questions, and then Google rewards you for providing great information. And the more people you get onto the page who have looked for that topic, they then build your SEO. They build your ranking because you're getting traffic. You're getting people to stay on your page longer. It's not just about the keyword. It's about the experience. And I think that's where a lot of the times we get hung up is we think SEO has to be this a big thing. It has to be backlinks and keywords and long tail keywords and schema. But at the end of the day, it's just how do we process information and how do we get business results?
Wow. Well, okay. So first of all, before we dive deeper into that right there.
Yeah.
Corgi's always welcome on the show.
Okay.
And he or she is absolutely allowed to speak.
No, Corgi popped up?
You didn't hear?
I heard.
Did you not hear
I don't
him?
know what it was because
It was the corgi. Yeah.
Oh, I love corgis. We wanted one so bad, and my dad never got it because they shed a lot, apparently.
Oh, yes. I vacuum about 2 times a week.
Well, so a couple of things. I have a couple questions because, we do a lot of work to get our SEO up, and we do it ourselves, right? So we never went out and hired someone to do it. We didn't get somebody else to do it. We are tech savvy enough, not great, but tech savvy enough to do a little damage. And so you mentioned something. I've always thought it's keywords that drive that. But can we use key phrases? Like, for instance, can I hashtag how to get a mortgage, or put how to get a mortgage in there? And does that phrase have spaces between it? Can it just be a full sentence? Can it be grammatically proper? Does it have to be done a certain way? Like, I'm so into details that sometimes I think, how does it drive?
Yeah, so absolutely. That's considered a long tail keyword. So the difference between a keyword and a long tail keyword, a keyword is 1 to 2 words that credit score, home buyer ready. What other keywords might we use if we're searching for a home? Realtors near me, lenders near me. Right. Those are keywords. Now, long tail keywords like phrases are, how do I get a mortgage? When should I start working with a lender? How long is the home buying process? How long will it take me to get a home? Yeah. What's the difference between building and buying? Okay. These are long tail keywords. They're questions. And actually, those are really beneficial, especially if you break them down like you would ask the question. If you type it out into a search, you type, how long does it take to get a mortgage?
So do hashtags fall in the same category, or is that a completely separate item?
It's a completely separate item in one way, and it's similar in another. So, for example, if we're talking about social media is not only looking at the hashtags that you use, but it's also looking at the content that's there. So when I'm talking about a lot of this SEO, I'm talking about something for Google. And I should clarify, I don't think we've said what SEO is. SEO is search engine optimization. How do you get found in the search results?
Thank you for that.
But yeah, we throw out these words. It's just like mortgage. You throw out all these words and it's like, oh no, what do they mean by that acronym? So how do you get found in the search results? And so social media has its own form of algorithm that looks at who should I display, where should I display them, which is a little bit more complex or less complex depending on the platform. But the keywords in this instance are hashtags. And the hashtags are basically a categorization for the social media. So if I have hashtag customer experience, when I click on hashtag customer experience, it's going to pull up a lot of posts that have the same hashtag. It's a way of being found. If you go on Instagram, for example, you'll search like hashtag travel or hashtag things to do in Morocco. That way you can find what exactly you want. You find the answer. You find all of the information that's in that category. But, okay. No, I was going to say, but also the algorithms on social are looking at the content inside your post. They're looking at the content that's in the comments, and they're going, hey, here are some keywords. So incorporating your keywords that you're using on your website, you can also add that into your social media, because chances are people are also searching in the social media search.
So, that brings up another thing for me anyway. Okay, let's say you click on or search by a keyword, or you click on a hashtag when you're in short form content in the Instagram world or whatever, right? And now you have that new page that comes up that shows you 2 rows worth of people's videos, and it's everybody who used that hashtag or everybody that's using that keyword. Is there a way to get yourself to the top of that search, right? Like, so if I click on hashtag mortgage, 10 other people are going to show up before me, but probably 1,000 people are going to show up before me. So how does one get to the front of that search?
That is a little bit harder of a question, because a lot of that depends on views and engagement. So it's building out your community, and that's why I said social media is a little bit more complex in the sense of it looks a lot more at engagement. When was the last time somebody commented? When was the last time somebody liked your post? How many people? Versus Google's looking at who came to your page. Did they find what they want? Which is, how long did they stay on the page? Yeah. And then what kind of content is there? What questions can it answer? Okay. So it's a little bit different.
I have a question here, because okay, so social media is very different compared to what Allie is kind of talking about here, because social media, and I guess anybody that asks me, how do you blow up on social media? It's the simplest answer that I can get is how long are you on the platform? What are you doing on the platform? And how long are your viewers on the platform?
It's a two-way street.
Yeah, because if you're commenting, you're constant on the platform and you're commenting and engaging with the community, bang, 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 the algorithm picks that up. When they see that you post something, they see that you're more pushed out there. That's why you need to be on the platform. And then obviously your videos, how long do they keep your people on the platform? That's the two biggest thing. And I guess we relate that to Google, as Allie was saying. But here's my thing. So this show is premised upon the fact of, hey, what is More Lending doing? How can you copy what kind of More Lending is doing, or what kind of tips and tricks can you copy what More Lending is doing? So the question that I have for you, Allie, is if you had to look at More Lending, what tips and advice could you give us that we could maybe go right now after this video and enact for us to kind of get our SEO kind of building a little bit more?
Yeah. So I think the first tip I would say, if you're not already doing it, that transcript schema that we talked about at the beginning. I think the next thing too is building out your thought leadership. So those FAQs are really important right now, especially in the sense of as voice search becomes more and more important. Because as we look at the way that people are changing their behavior with search, it's more often, hey Siri, hey Alexa, hey Google, and we're getting our answers that way, and we want instantaneous answers. We don't want to search for it. We want to just know. So one of the things that you can do is you can optimize for local search, making sure that your business, like your Google My Business page, up to date, that you have reviews. Those reviews are really important and do play into your efforts for SEO. And then making sure that whenever they get to the website, they can find the answers that they need right then and there. So if you're taking, let's say, lender in Florida, we're looking at more of like a local search level. You want to make sure that you're using that term, lender in Florida, so that when they search, you come up. But the other thing you could do is to take that and break it into longer. So it's all about breaking your content into pieces and digesting it as a user would search. So let's say you build out your Google My Business. It's all those reviews are there. You're getting that engagement. And then you go, okay, what are some of the common questions I'm getting? Integrating those into your website throughout the process where your borrower would go to look. Then taking that a step further, using those questions that you get and turning them into that long form content. So SEO is all about making the most of your content.
So that's great, actually.
So question for you, right?
Yeah.
You're a lender that has an all-important podcast. We are bringing on people who are divulging a lot of information, helping home buyers. And I think specifically, I'm kind of more referring to the podcast we had with Allie, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Hey, how can Gen Z purchase a home, right?
Sure.
That's probably a huge topic right now that Gen Z is searching up, right? They're the ones saying, hey Siri, hey Alexa, XYZ. So with that video and that content, right, could we curate blog posts using, let's say...
That is exactly...
Okay.
Well,
okay, yeah. So talk to us about that.
So the answer is, can you use it to create content? Yes. Can you use ChatGPT? No. So Google knows when you're using AI. Google is smarter than we all think. Actually, we know Google is very smart, but Google knows when you're using AI because it doesn't talk like a human would talk. So yes, you can use AI to optimize. You can use it to take a look at sentences, shorten things, break down what you've already done, but you can't use AI to write your articles. My recommendation is always, if you are going to use AI, bring a copywriter in to take a look at it and then have them go through and say, okay, does this sound like how a human would talk? There's actually some really cool tools out there. There is on Content at Scale, which is a platform writing tool. You can look up and say, okay, is this AI or is it not? Google also has an AI detector. So if you just Google AI detector and you plug a piece of content in, it'll tell you the likelihood that that content is AI. And that's going to negatively impact your search. And if it doesn't impact it now, in the next year or so, as the natural language processing gets better, it will impact your search. So my recommendation is always no. That being said, there are some easy ways to generate ideas. So things like SEMrush, And I don't know what tool you guys are using when you do your research for SEO, but SEMrush is really easy to use. You can plug in your website. You can plug in a competitor's website. You can plug in, a large brand's website and see what they're ranking for. So, for example, take the Rocket Mortgage of the world. If you want to see what they're ranking for and start to try to compete with some of those big guys in search, take their website, plug it in, see what they're ranking for in non-branded search, because there is a difference. Branded search is, hey, MOR Lending is getting searched in Google versus lenders in Florida and you're coming up. That's branded versus non-branded. So lenders near me, mortgage, get a mortgage in this area is coming up with non-branded. Branded, MOR Lending. So if you look at what Rockets or the larger lenders are ranking for, you can plug it into SEMrush, their URL, get the keywords they're ranking for, and then take those and spin off ideas for your website so that you can start to rank against them. And if you create a better user experience and you start to build up your traffic, then you're going to be able to beat out some of those big guys in search.
So, all right, I posted a lot of information.
Just before you ask this,
you need like a Spark Notes version. Get SEMrush, create blog posts using the words that you find, and then add those to your website and watch the traffic come.
Okay, so I just want to say something. Usually we're cracking more jokes. We're doing a lot more. I'm so enamored with I'm like, oh, I almost feel like I just want to go outside, grab a notepad and a pad. Hold on a second.
I have a table right here, and I've been
it's like I told you, I'm not going to gatekeep because it's and when I talk about it, it sounds difficult, but if you break it down step by step, it's easy. And a lot of these companies, like you said, there are companies that come to you and they're like, hey, we can help you with your SEO. A lot of them aren't really delivering any value. What they're delivering to you is, hey, we'll get you a bunch of backlinks. And everybody's like, oh, what's a backlink? A backlink is just a link on another site that delivers information to your site. So let's say I get a backlink from Forbes. That is a great backlink. You want that backlink. But if I get a backlink from XYZ Content Index, which is, in the back interwebs of South America, that doesn't matter for me because at the end of the day, I want the reputable backlinks. But what a lot of these backlink companies are doing is they're going out and putting you in directories. And that's, although you're getting backlinks and you're getting a baby boost up front, those become toxic links and they drag down your overall SEO. They drag down your ultimate ranking. Oh. So a lot of these companies are promising the earth, the moon, the wind, the sky. They're promising everything and they cannot deliver because their strategies might have worked 10 years ago, but they don't work today. Now, that's not to say there aren't great SEO companies out there. It's just you have to be very careful when you're choosing one. And some of the things that I would recommend when choosing an SEO company is ask.
Choose Allie.
I was like, choose out.
Yes. But if you're not going to go with our upcoming Rank Writer Pro, my recommendations are talk to them about how does the SEO tie into your content strategy? What does their research process look like? What is going to be their primary method for helping you build your SEO? If they say it's backlinking, I walk away. Because unless they're getting reputable links, and that is also a question. What kind of backlinks? Can you show me previous customer reports? If they're getting you on relevant blogs, let's say they're getting you on, getting linked in a article about becoming a home buyer ready or in an article about getting a mortgage, great. Then yes, that makes total sense. But if they're going to get you listed in those directories, you don't want those links. And I've gone through hundreds of websites that you have to go and disavow a bunch of links and tell the search engines, hey, don't connect me to these people because it's a back directory that somebody created just so that they could have somewhere to add links. But so make sure that you check in on the backlink strategy. Make sure you check in on how they're going to get you to rank and make sure that you understand their keyword research process because that's what's going to drive your success.
You know what you just did, right? So basically you just took our Friday. We're not going to work. We're going to sit outside. everybody's going to crowd around us and we're going to be talking about this for the next 5.5 hours. And somebody's going to call and say, hey, you missed the closing.
Yeah, I gotta actually go at 2 to the courthouse. I'm getting married now in April, so I guess we gotta pick up the paper.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But
How'd you find your photographer? Did you Google?
I might have to cancel. I might have to go get SEO. I'm like, babe, I just figured this out. Hold on. No. We're not actually getting married right now. We're picking up the paper. We're getting married in the Dominican Republic. So I think we have to go to the court, sign some documents, and then pick that up so that we can have the ceremony when we actually get married and the ordained minister or pastor says.
Well, so, congratulations. That's so exciting.
Thank you so much, Allie. I appreciate that. Hold on. So wow, there's a lot of information here.
So something we got to think about right now. Allie, we weren't expecting that we would have so much that we are literally going through our minds at this moment in time. We thought, hey, Allie's going to teach us a few things. We're going to talk. It's going to be open conversation like it always has been. And we're literally looking at each other like, no. There's like 90 more questions. There's other things. And we know you do, and we know we do. We all have things. So I got to tell you something. There's a part 2 to this.
There has to.
There is.
There has to be. There has to be.
We can do it. We can do a part 2.
I have a two-parter, not a two-part question, but kind of like, so one thing here, right? So the first thing, we post on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Do you utilize SEO on YouTube? Just a real quick yes or no answer.
Yeah. Yes. You should be incorporating your keywords. You should be wanting to get found because YouTube also ranks.
Okay. So, would you say, in a technical term, if we utilize your services, our YouTube video would do better?
I would say it depends on how you utilize it. So there are 2 schools of thought here. So with the SEO company that Brandy Young and I are starting, we are really focusing on those blog posts because that's what's going to get your website to rank, and delivering content at a regular basis. On the other hand, if we're talking about strategized marketing, yes, that is where we would go in and we'd look at everything strategically, like, okay, how should we be writing our YouTube descriptions? How should we be writing our social media posts? How should we be writing our blog content? What keywords need to go in there? What kind of interlinking? The really cool thing about you guys posting on YouTube is if you link back to more lending, that's a backlink. So YouTube videos can help you backlink. And then what you can do is you can take your link on there and link back to your YouTube video. So you're creating a conversation for Google, Bing, Yahoo, etc. I always say Google, but it's any search engine. You're creating a conversation for them. They're going, okay, where do you go?
I got to say, that was a really refreshing answer. For 1 second, I was sitting there going, she's going to say yes. You didn't say yes. You said depends, and this is why, and maybe, and this is how we could do it better, or if you were working with us. I just want to say I truly appreciate that you didn't just go, yes, I can.
No, that's the thing about this, and I really, SEO can be easy, SEO can be hard. The one thing about it is, although the formula is the same, every business is different, and there's a lot of factors that go into it. So your website speed, I can't control that. Only whoever developed your website can control that. Now, if I developed your website and your website speed is bad, then that is my fault, yes. But your website speed is going to influence how well a piece of content does on your site. The length of your YouTube video, the engagement on your YouTube video is going to impact how well it does. So there are always things that you can do to optimize. That's why this is called optimization. It's not perfection, it's optimization. You're working towards a goal. So a lot of the times what my best suggestion is sit down and say, where do you want to go? And then look at what metrics do you want to hit. So if I say, I know for my YouTube video to rank and to get onto people's search feeds, I need to have this much engagement. I need to have this much, this long of video views. I need to have this average. And then you say, okay, what other things can I do to get those views, to get those engagements? And that is interlinking to your website, interlinking to your social media, driving traffic from other channels. We often think of everything in marketing as a silo. We think of social media as just social media. Our websites are just our websites. Our search engine optimization is just search engine optimization. Our emails are just our emails. But what you need to do is you need to bring those together and create a holistic approach because they are all intertwined. If you're driving people to your YouTube video from your email marketing, that's going to improve where your videos rank. If you're driving people from your YouTube video to your website, that's going to improve how your website ranks. And so it's all about creating a consistent omni-channel experience and also creating a consistent message because your audience will be interacting with you at different points through different tactics.
Okay, so like I said, this is going to go on forever, but I have to ask this one last question, and then we have to say goodbye to the viewers for the day and let you know that there will be a point in time where we pick this conversation back up. But here's my last question for you. When you're using backlinks, so you have got your YouTube long-form content connected to your website is now backlinked to your YouTube. Is that backlinking also available from your other short-form social media content sites like your TikTok, your Facebook, your Instagram, and all the other things that are?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're posting on LinkedIn and you're driving people to your website from LinkedIn, you're improving your overall search engine optimization because it's reputable, people are engaging. And backlinking is just a generic term of getting somebody from one point to the other point, getting people back to your website or out to your website.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah. So
I'm going to call you later and be like, what does that mean?
It just means that your website is linked to somewhere else. You link back to your website. So yes, anywhere you're posting a link can help that strategy and can help your SEO.
Wonderful. That's not the last question.
Okay.
I have two things, and I want to obviously kind of give it to you a little bit more, Allie.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I will have to say is, listen, since this is our YouTube video with you, would you be so kind as to help us do the copyright or the search engine optimization?
Yeah, I can definitely help you with that.
Wonderful. That's what I wanted to know. Now we can compare to see how this one does compared to the other ones, right? Now, number two, Allie, listen, so you talked a lot about, you gave it such great information. I want to actually give you the opportunity now to really talk about not maybe your new company or whatnot, but what services you offer, how you can help people in the mortgage industry, and really how, you've already given so much gold that I hope that everybody that's watching this understands that she can help you. But maybe get more specific. We got a couple more minutes, but I want to give you the opportunity to just kind of say, hey, what is it that you're offering? Why should people hire you? And how let's get you some more business.
Yeah, thank you for that. So just a quick overview of where my area of expertise is. I have a sales training background. I have a financial background. And so where my sweet spot is helping drive the connection between marketing and sales. Yeah, right here, I was talking a lot about how you don't have to be a marketer to understand SEO, to understand the tactics that go into it. There's a really easy process for breaking it down. So a lot of the times whenever I'm brought into a business, it's to work alongside their sales team to develop a marketing strategy that mirrors their individual sales strategies. So when I'm talking about individual sales strategies, we're talking about some personal branding. We're talking about content creation and thought leadership and developing a holistic approach. That's always been my MO, is that it should be a holistic approach. And so ultimately, when I work with clients, we're going in and we're evaluating their content strategy. We're evaluating their website and a lot of those other tactics that we talked about today, email marketing, automation. How can we take what we're doing from a marketing standpoint and translate that into email marketing automation so that your sales team can do more in less time? So my biggest benefit to a business and why I often am brought into a situation is they want to know, how do we take our strategy further? And then some clients, they have an entire marketing team and then their marketing team runs with it. Other clients are very similar to you guys. They don't necessarily have a dedicated marketing department with multiple people. And so then I can come in with the resources. I have a content writer who's been in the mortgage industry for several years. I have an SEO specialist. I have a social media specialist that I work with in order to make sure that you get the expertise that you need if you don't have that in-house. So it's ultimately bringing sales and marketing together, having the content that you need, having the resources that you need, or helping your current resources optimize their time and efforts.
Wow. I love that. All right. I appreciate that very much. That is really good information. I hope that for all the viewers all out there watching, that you guys are really, if you're a loan officer, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a broker owner, anything of that nature, right? You're running your own company and you wanted to get into SEO, because I feel like we talked about marketing last episode. And one of the biggest things that I always stood out to me was that things in this day and age have half-lives, right? In 4 years, generally speaking, by the time the newest thing is up, it's about 4 years. So that's by year 2, you're at the half-life.
Yeah.
Already with AI, we've said strategies to say, hey, send a newsletter with ChatGPT to your audience because it makes life easier, right? But now you actually have somebody here who's a professional, who's an expert in this market that can actually help you do this. So we're slinging a part 2 because I have 20 other questions that I would like to ask Allie. And this is maybe the only way I can get her. But Allie, thank you so much.
Yes,
really.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thank you for having me. It was really nice talking with you guys.
It was amazing. Yeah, we're a lot more funny. I haven't mentioned that Roy's old on this episode,
That's
which
true.
is
This is the first episode that didn't happen.
no, but I got it still.
But he's already correct.
Well, instead of comedy, you got corgis because they really wanted to talk SEO today.
Yeah, no. I am just shocked. Like I'm gonna turn off this camera and be like, hey, can you say?
You know why we're shocked? Because we do pride ourselves on the fact that we've done a lot of social, both short and long form content. We did it all ourselves. It was YouTube teaching us, it was books teaching us, and we didn't go out there and hire somebody with your expertise to do it. Because we were in our startup phases and we were like, let's figure it out and let's put it together. And so now we're sitting here going, oh man, we didn't think about that, or we didn't even know that. And
there's a lot of good podcasts out there too. If you want some help with SEO and doing it yourself, let's say you are bootstrapped, you're a startup. I really like to listen to the SEO Daily. It gives you a brief overview every day of what's happening because SEO is changing daily. Big one probably in October, everybody took a hit because Google changed their algorithm. And so, and we saw it across the board. So knowing that happened and it's not something you did, bless you, and it's not something that you did to mess up your SEO is important to know. So they give you those kinds of updates if you're trying to figure it out yourself.
Close us out.
Yeah, so Allie, thank you so much for coming on board. We will definitely schedule a part 2. And if you thought that was great, we have some amazing other guests coming on now that are just divulging this type of information out at all times and really just, doing what the mission of this podcast is for. Being able to give you guys, the viewers, free information that is not baseline, that is not gatekeeping, because again, we pride ourselves on, hey, what are we doing? How can this SEO help us, right? And you guys can go to our Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn and see, hey, what are these guys posting? How are they posting? And okay, Allie told them to do this. Well, we're doing this, and that's just how this can help us, right? And she gave us tidbits, brain dumps, everything, man.
Hey, one last thing, Allie. How does somebody get in contact with you?
Yeah, if you want to find me, I'm on LinkedIn. It's Alizabeth, so A-L-I, not E-L-I, Leng-Barton. And I have a website. It's stratomizemkt.com. It's probably easier to find me on LinkedIn. I have a Monday marketing moment. It comes out every Monday, 10 a.m. With some marketing tips for you to implement that week.
And we'll put a link to your material on this video.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's gonna help us write it, so she can put the link there. She can put all the backlinks she wants there. Yeah, and I honestly, Allie, one of the things I did want to tell you was you had a series of 24 marketing strategies that really jumped out to me because that was just free information that I've had to pay for it. Honestly, I've paid for people to tell me about certain marketing items for myself and stuff like that. So just to see you say, number one, made me feel bad that I paid for it. Number two, it made me feel like, yo, this is really good. This is really, really good information.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So thank you actually for coming on. And we'll see you guys for More Money episode 13. But watch this one. This is one of the best ones that we've had.
And Allie, we'll see you again soon.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.